Pete and Mark, don't hate Miami, because Pete does claim, and he put claim in quotations there, to hate the turnover chain, but deep down in places he doesn't talk about on YouTube, he wishes Clemson had a turnover chain too. Everything about this, what he just said, is completely false and atrocious. Okay. I don't claim to hate the turnover chain. It's indifferent to me. I don't care about costume jewelry. And I think that if you look at the Ohio States, the Alabamas, the Clemsons of the world, the ones that are winning national championships on an annual basis, they don't need gimmicks like this.
Absolutely.
I think it's embarrassing for Miami. Now, look, I'm not in the Miami culture. I get it down there. That's their culture. They're flashy. It's sort of like the Miami of old back in the day when they had all these flashy players and Michael Irvin was there and everything. But to me, it's silly. And I do not wish that Clemson had a turnover chain. Did you see the rings too? What do they call that?
They got rings going now.
It says, what does it say? To the crib.
Oh, yeah. I kept seeing that hashtag and kept seeing that all over the place. The crib.
Yeah, the crib. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The crib.
I'm right there with you. I could have said exactly what you just said in regards to, I always like to be rooting for the team or the program that's like, we're better than that. We don't need to do that.
Yeah, me too. But whatever, if they like it, more power to them.
Yeah, it's fun. It's cool. And I got to remember, I'm an old guy. I have to check myself all the time and say, Mark, you're an old guy. What a 20-year-old wants to do, what he wants to see, what he wants to buy, what he wants to put on, all that other stuff, and what they're interested in, completely different. What they think is cool, what they're into, I just can't relate to. But
I will admit, I'll give credit where credit's due as far as this chain goes. Miami did originate this. So there's been a ton of copycats across college football, which is even more embarrassing when you're copycatting.
Yes.
That. So at least it's original.
With the Florida State, what was theirs was like a backpack. Now that's like embarrassing.
There's been a bunch of crazy ones. One team has a throne, like a king's throne, and they sit on the throne and put on a crown like a king. That's awful. I don't know who came up with that.
Now the question that I've had from my Miami guys that they haven't been able to answer, or maybe they don't want to answer, is once you put something like that in place, like this turnover chain, and I know, so I will give them the same credit you do. If you're going to do it, be the first and do it the best, and do the one that everybody thinks of and at least has some level of respect for. So that's good. But has there been, so this has been going on, this is a 4th season now, and as soon as this hit the scene, my first thought was, I'm always going the embarrassment route. When is this going to go wrong or off the rails? If you're losing 35-0 and you get a fumble recovery, are you guys dancing around and throwing on the chain and going crazy? Does it still?
And that has happened. Last year when Miami was bad, they were still running around celebrating that turnover chain when they were losing by 4 touchdowns. Definition 409 says the turnover chain was bought off a street vendor in New York City. The real reason they take it away quickly is it turns your neck green. Now, Slim Shady Canes told me, and I believe him, that thing cost like over $200,000 because of the diamonds in it. Can you believe that?
So you called it costume jewelry, which I love, but they were running down during the broadcast the other night what is in the chain, because it becomes more and more elaborate every year. And I was thinking, if this is real, this costs a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So who's paying for this?
Well, apparently, and I don't know, somebody could probably tell me something different. What I know about it is that there's a famous jeweler down in Miami who makes jewelry for all the rappers and stuff down there, and he makes it and donates it to the university. So they're not actually paying for it according to them. Who knows if that's true or not? But that's a lot of money to spend on a piece of jewelry. And the one this year is especially ugly because it's shaped like the state of Florida. Did you see that?
Yes.
Shaped like the state of Florida, has a big U on it. And then when they're done wearing it, they treat it like it's the Torah, and they take it off and they clean it and wipe it off. And then they put it in some kind of special box and put with a lock on it.
Now, back to the expense portion of this. We know from Miami's past that there would be no possible way that there could be anything nefarious that's involved in regards to how this is financed.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone. Gator Zone says turnover trash can over the turnover backpack. Yeah, who is that? Oh, that was Butch Jones that had the trash can, wasn't it? You remember that?
No,
In
that
Tennessee, they had a
escaped
trash
me.
can, and when they turned the ball over, they would go and they would dunk the football into this Tennessee trash can, which was that's got to be the worst out of all of them. You're literally carrying around a trash can on the sidelines.
Yeah,
Your team's logo on it. So,
you're proud of this.
yes.
Sure.
He says Nevin Shapiro paid for the chain. Of course. Okay, we'll move on from the chain. I think we've given enough attention to the chain here, but thank you, Slim Shady, and everybody else who weighed in on that conversation.